You ever find yourself standing in the middle of a perfect American neighborhood and realize you've just wandered into a minefield? That's where I was the day my wife's uniform sparked the most insane suburban showdown you can imagine. I mean, who expects to hear their neighbor scream, "I'm calling the FBI"? You're impersonating a veteran because you hung a military jacket on a clothesline. But that's exactly how our adventure in Meadowbrook Estates started. And let me tell you, nothing about this place or my wife was what it seemed. Now, when Sarah and I first moved in, I was convinced we'd landed in paradise rows of neat houses, lawns so manicured you could play pool on them, and the kind of neighbors who waved even when you'd rather not talk. The president of the HOA, Catherine Harrison, showed up at our door on day one, all smiles and cookies, talking about our perfect little community. Looking back, perfect should have tipped me off. In my experience, anything that claims to be perfect is hiding something ugly just under the surface. The first crack appeared that Tuesday right after Sarah hung her uniform outside to dry. Sun shining, birds singing seemed innocent enough. But Sarah wasn't just any vet. She'd served 15 years, retired a colonel, and treated that uniform with the kind of respect you save for family heirlooms. She clipped it on the line sharp as ever, and I swear it wasn't 2 hours before Catherine came sniffing around again, this time her smile just a little too wide. Cookie's forgotten eyes locked on that uniform like a heat-seeking missile. Her questions came fast. Where'd you serve what unit? How many deployments do you still have clearance? It wasn't friendly. It was like a job interview for a job you didn't want. I could see her sizing up Sarah, fishing for something, but my wife, calm as ever, gave nothing away. You could feel the tension like two chess players at move one, except I was the guy who didn't even know he was part of the game. By evening, Catherine had fired off an email to the whole neighborhood, new military display guidelines. That's HOA speak for show me your papers or take it down. Sarah read it, looked at me with this cold, calculating stare and said, "She's testing me. And she has no idea what she's started." I didn't get it, then thought maybe this was just another overzealous neighbor, but Sarah, she was ready for this, like she'd been waiting her whole life. Next morning, Sarah refused to show her paperwork. "Sorry, Mrs. Harrison, those records are private and protected by federal law." That should have ended it. But you ever try telling an HOA president, no? Catherine lost it, yelling about her right to protect the community and verify veterans. She made such a scene, neighbors started peeking through windows. Not an hour later, she's out front on her phone pointing at our house, calling in reinforcements. I was making coffee when the sirens hit cops showing up over a jacket. Can you believe it? Sarah didn't flinch. She made a quick phone call, and the way she talked, I may need to accelerate my timeline. It was like she knew this exact scenario was coming. That's when the first real twist landed. When the chief asked for IDs, Sarah handed over hers military and all calm as you like. Catherine whipped out an old spouse ID expired for a decade. She'd never served a day. The whole neighborhood just stared, jaws on the ground. That moment flipped the script, but Catherine wasn't done. She started a campaign, security cameras pointed at our house, group chats, plotting our downfall, even planted evidence showing up on her porch like a bad spy movie. But here's the part that chilled me. Sarah countered every move with military precision, documenting, researching, running circles around Catherine's paranoia. She dug into Catherine's past, uncovered a pattern. This wasn't her first rodeo. 5 neighborhoods, always the same play. Become HOA president, harass military families, fake authority. Things escalated fast. Flyers for an emergency safety meeting went up, carefully excluding us. Catherine built her own little coalition. Older folks, worried parents, anyone afraid of change. Meanwhile, Sarah kept working her own network, the few folks who saw through the performance. Jamie Rodriguez, our across-the-street neighbor and Little League coach, was the first to side with us. He'd seen enough helicopter parents to know a control freak when he saw one. The big showdown hit at that emergency meeting. Catherine turned the place into a kangaroo court, presenting her evidence, photos, witness statements, suspicious packages. She painted Sarah as some kind of infiltrator. But when Sarah finally stood up, she didn't get angry or defensive, just calm, clear, devastating. "Harassment and planted evidence don't honor anyone's service," she said. And just like that, the room started to turn. Then she called out Catherine's own lie about her fake years of military service, and the house of cards collapsed. People started whispering, some shouting, a few even apologizing on the spot. But Catherine's final play was her craziest. Standing outside in the parking lot, wild-eyed and desperate, she shouted, "I'm calling the FBI. They'll find the truth." For the first time, Sarah actually looked a little worried, or maybe just ready. "Be careful, Mrs. Harrison. Federal investigations don't always go the way you expect." It felt like a threat, or maybe a warning. Next morning, unmarked cars rolled up. The neighborhood emptied into the street. Catherine preened, convinced her moment of vindication had arrived. But when those agents walked right past our door and straight to hers, the whole street froze. The agents read her charges: benefit fraud, false claims, wire fraud, conspiracy. All those years, all that service, total fiction. Catherine was led away in handcuffs, still screaming about respect, her patriot costume looking more like a Halloween gag than a badge of honor. That wasn't the end, not by a long shot. Turns out my wife, Sarah, wasn't just a retired colonel. She was military intelligence undercover, sent to investigate benefit fraud in suburban HOAs. Her whole retirement, our whole marriage, it was a cover. "You were the only real thing about this job," she told me afterward, her eyes softer than I'd ever seen. She took a new consulting gig, helping other communities spot scammers like Catherine. And we're moving on to the next assignment soon, Florida this time. Part of me's still reeling, but another part's proud as hell. The neighborhood, for its part, started to heal. Jamie was elected HOA president, first order of business, new rules to prevent this kind of mess. Neighbors apologized, a barbecue was thrown, kids even saluted Sarah's uniform as it hung on the line, a genuine symbol of respect this time. Folks learned the hard way that real heroes don't announce themselves. They just do the job quietly with dignity. So here's what I learned and what I hope you take away: never judge by appearances. The loudest voices often have the least to say. And sometimes the most ordinary-looking folks are hiding stories that'll blow your mind. I spent years living with a genuine hero and never knew it. Meanwhile, the woman demanding recognition wound up in prison, scrubbing floors for the country she pretended to serve. Can you believe that twist? From HOA drama to a federal sting operation, all because of a uniform on a clothesline. Crazy world, right? If you've got thoughts about justice, about who's right or wrong, or how communities should handle these messes, I want to hear them. Drop a comment, start a debate, tell me what respect means to you. And hey, if you enjoyed this story and want more, a like or a share means the world keeps these wild tales coming your way. Until next time, I'm Marcus, signing off from the suburbs. And if you see someone hanging a uniform on the line, maybe offer a salute instead of suspicion. You never know what story's hiding next door.